Greety tweetings but no beatings. Everybody, it's Lily Willy in the Pacific Northwest. Pacific Northwest, West, West, Petty West, Petty West, 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 Petty West, Petty West, 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 West. Which portion of it I'll not share. If you haven't already learned that from some of the videos in the past, where I shared that info, then it's none of your business. But, if you have, well, then great. Then you know, and I don't need to share it again. But anyhow, it's 1:49 a.m. Wemmy here in the Pacific Northwest, and it is Yule, or winter solstice, here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I'm gonna share some songs, and yes, they're a little bit some of them are filks, which a certain type of filk is a parody of an existing song, and then another type is still putting new words to that song, but may or may not be funny, and I'll be sharing some of each. So today, although it's dark outside where I be, the sun is being born today. And that is to say, the sun in the sky. It is also the day when the sun looketh like it's standing still. Solstice or solstice means sun stands still in Latin. And it's also the day of the year when the light will be the shortest. Of all the days of the year, but then it'll wax or grow hereafter, and it's kind of a cool thing. Of course, that means that you're gonna have to start wearing sunscreeny weenie even more day after day after day, and so you're gonna have to start being careful again. Technically, and they drummed this into us in health class, you're supposed to wear sunscreen all year round, not just during the summer and late spring. And not just in Australia and Africa and in all those places that it's hot most of the year. You're technically supposed to do that irrespective of where you live all year round. But because you can still get skin cancer even though you're not getting sunburned. So don't sweat it too much, but do put on sunscreeny weenie if you have any, even during the winter, and it's convenient unto the moment. So I'm gonna share um, my version of a song that most of you know the Christian version of or have heard it, and it's my my take on it, and it's a little bit more. I looked on the internet for to be certain, and while I did see other pagan and Wiccan variants of this song um, in lyric, I didn't see quite these versions. So I'm gonna safely say that they're mine. But here they are. The opening verse is the same as the Christian one, but as is the refrain, however, as you'll see, the content in each of the verses is a little different. The holly and the ivy, when they are both well grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly beareth the crown. Oh, for the rising of the sun, on the running of the deer, the playing of the merry and sweet singing in the choir. The holly bells are blossom, as sweet as lily flower, and the goddess bore the new sun king for to bring light to the earth. Oh, for the rising of the sun, and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ sweet singing in the choir. The holy bells are merry, as red as only blood, and the goddess bore the new sun king for to light each field and wood. Oh, for the rising of the sun, and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ sweet singing in the choir. The holy bells are back, as beatrice on eagle, and the goddess bore the new sun king for to bring light to us all. Ah, for the rising of the sun, and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ sweet singing in the choir. And so the holly and the ivy are both old European symbols. The holly is masculine, usually, and the ivy feminine. They are both symbols of protection and good luck, and yes, love. In traditions where um, marriage traditions, um, as well as pagan customs, the man would wear a holly wreath around his head, and the woman an ivy wreath. And during this time of year, it was customary for a woman who wanted to attract a husband to carry ivy on her person or wear it, and vice versa for a man. Now, the sun was betwixt June 21st, which on this side of the planet is the summer solstice, um, was getting, until now, weaker. It might not have seemed that way for the first couple of months of it, because the the orbs move more slowly than we do. But actually, on June 21st, the sun began the process of waning and basically napping, you might say, a little bit more each day. We might not have felt it very much up until autumn and mid or late autumn in some places, because that's about when it started getting really cold. Now, I'm not talking about those years when we had the so-called effing January in the Pacific Northwest, because we did have a couple of them in the most recent 5 or 6 years, but it wasn't it wasn't this particular year. But there have been each day there has been a little bit less light steadily from June 21st till now. And now, each day after this, on this side of the planet, the sun is going to climb out of bed just a little bit more each day, and the light will grow. It might be a time when it would be helpful to think about what we want to grow in our lives. There are lots of smaller times during the year that are beneficial for this kind of manifesting. Some of them fairly directly nature-based, and some of them cultural. This is a time of year when nature helps give us an outer prompt to think about what things we want to grow. And if it helps, we can imagine that as the sun waxes, those things we want to invite into our lives, those positive things we want to invite into our lives, whether they are inner qualities like peace or gladness / gaiety, liveliness, gentleness, courage, whatever they might be. They might be more tangible things. It might, for some people, be success. It might be good health. It might be good luck. It might be fame. Especially beneficial fame. It could be a lot of things. But this is a time to think what we'd like to ask nature to help us invite. The asking can be in prayer form, but it can also be every time you look at the sun, even if it doesn't seem like on any given day it's very bright. During the time that the sun waxes, you can utilize it as an outer cue for the intention that the thing you want to draw more of in your life is waxing or growing. Adding any positive frameworks you might wish to help that thing arrive in a way that is beneficial to you and within free will to those involved and affected. And also in a way that bringeth you happiness. And that you can recognize and understand. It can be helpful when we ask for something, or whether we are praying to a deity, or whether we think of calling it to ourselves, with or without an entity that we work with directly from outside for help. It can be important for many to intend a framework that you recognize it when the thing you've been seeking to draw to yourself arrives on your doorstep. It's almost a truism that a lot of times we get so wrapped up in living or pushing through or muddling along and all that stuffity wuffy that when we ask for something, whether we pray to God or a deity or a goddess or an angel or anything at all, that we don't always see in the moment when it arrives. And So, putting that into your framework may be helpful and beneficial to you. And apparently my computer kitty god, Jesse, oops, Chester, the computer kitty god, decided to come and approve this message. So, whether, regardless of what tradition you keep, if any, Blessed Yule / Blessed Winter Solstice unto you, if you be in the Northern Hemisphere, and unto you in the Southern Hemisphere, Blessed Letha / Blessed Summer Solstice, or Solstice Wissy. And I hope all of you have a wonderful day. That there is lots of fun involved, whatever you happen to be doing. And although we're quite a bit past December 6th, or 60th, which is Santa's official day. Yes, he hath one of his own, not just blended in with the Son and with Jesus, but actually he doth have his own day. It's on December 6th, the feast of St. Nicholas. But this is my rather ghoulish take on a several decades old Christmas song. One could not really rightly call it a carol, I don't think. It's much too, as it were, eerie? I don't know. I think of a carol as something far less sarcastic, even than the original Songity Wong that I am spoofity woofing here. Are you ready? Huh? Okay. Wow. I saw Mommy kissing Santa's claws underneath the mistletoe last night. They didn't see me creep down the stairs to have a peep. I wanted to make certain that her Santa's not a creep. And I saw Mommy kissing Santa's claws. And I saw his fangs so ghostly white. Oh, what a howl it would have been if Daddy had only seen Mommy kissing Santa's claws last night. She saw Mommy kissing Santa's claws underneath the mistletoe last night. They didn't see him creep down the stairs to have a peep. I wanted to make certain that her Santa's not a creep. And I saw Mommy kissing Santa's claws. And I saw his fangs so ghostly white. I wonder how it would have been if Daddy had only seen Mommy kissing Santa's claws. She was kissing Santa's claws. Mommy kissing Santa's claws last night.